Hi, welcome back to
What's Haunting the Hurst?
What's Haunting the Hurst? Boys,
We invent our mommy.
you invent your mommy or do you introduce?
We're introducing our mom to the video. She's going to be a new member.
So,
Then
you've officially invented your mother. Clear away. So, as the kid said, this is Mama Hurst, also known as Catherine Hurst. That's what I call her, or Cat to some people. I've just got a few questions. Just set the scene. As I told you in the last video, she's agreed to become part of the What's Haunting the Hurst team, but she's a skeptic. And I said that's a good thing to be. As far as paranormal groups go, it's good to have a dissenting voice to keep us from being Wyatt's sticking his head over her shoulder, from being too gung-ho and not looking at all the facts in a fair way. So I just want to ask a few questions to get her thoughts on some of these topics that are most important, I feel, to the group.
Okay.
So you have 6 questions.
Okay.
And number 1, Bigfoot. Do you believe?
No, I do not.
And please give me a reason. You can give us a reason for belief. I've gave my reasons for belief. It's your time for the spotlight.
Feel as though there would be more solid evidence / proof, not people who are in it to try to make a quick buck. People who are maybe creating fake videos or blogs or stuff, trying to get their name out there and get notoriety. I feel like, I mean...
She's not describing What's Haunting the Hurst, by the way. I'm making a joke. We're obviously not in it for the money. We're poor. Loch Ness Monster. Believe or not?
It's not true. Some drunk dude in a kilt was looking out at the water.
I don't know. There's been quite a few sightings of the Loch Ness Monster. But there's also been copycats like Champ, the Lake Champlain Monster.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few monsters just like it. In fact, I believe less in the Loch Ness Monster than I do in Bigfoot. I think there's more of a case for Bigfoot, judging by...
You'll have to take me on one of your hunts then, because you've yet... So...
Well, Bigfoot has a case with other apes, like in...
so you're saying his ape-like?
I'm very much saying he's ape-like. I've never said... I don't think he's gorilla-like, though. Even though I would compare him, at least as far as sightings go, to the Cross River gorilla. Maybe I'll talk about that one day.
Okay.
I do not think he's gorilla-like because gorillas generally don't walk on their hind legs.
That's why I think it's fake. I think it's a person in a costume.
I do not believe it to be because there was a creature, even if Bigfoot doesn't exist, and I am not even given that as a possibility, to be clear, there was a prehistoric creature that was an ape that stood on its hind legs.
Okay.
Gigantopithecus.
We should know that. With the amount of dinosaurs the boys talk about, yeah.
So, with that creature having existed, this could be an ancestor of that creature.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'll never believe. I'm just saying up until July of 2023, I don't.
Okay. I think he's an elusive creature. I don't think there's a large population, but I do think they exist. I think I think it's probably,
Can I sit right there?
yeah, I think it's probably a smaller population in Tennessee. Maybe. Except for the mountainous regions where it would be harder to find him.
Okay.
I think there's a good case for him in California where he was originally seen.
Yes.
And I think there's an even greater case for him in the swamps of Florida.
Everything's in Florida.
The skunk ape is well known, and I've not spoke of the skunk ape yet, but he's basically Bigfoot, but they just call him skunk ape in Florida because he smells really bad. It's not Wyatt, it's skunk ape.
It's Peyton.
But anyway, I'll digress. I'm not giving you a lecture, I'm just giving you my thoughts versus your thoughts. So Loch Ness Monster, I think we're both skeptics on the Loch Ness Monster.
Some drunk dude saw something.
But I am not against the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not closed-minded to it. Ghosts. Do you believe? Let me go further. Do you believe is the first part of the question. And if you believe, what exactly are they? Or what do you think they are? So, the first part of the question is real easy. Do you believe yay or nay?
No.
No. So, the second part of the question doesn't matter. Because I've already gave my thoughts. I do not believe in ghosts as far as spirits of dead people. But I do believe in what naturally comes after that question. And I would like to get your thoughts. I hope you don't surprise me. The next question is demons. Do you believe?
Yes. There's many instances where, I mean, even in Jesus' time where he cast the demons into the swine and they went so crazy they went off in the ocean. So,
That's a very good answer. And I think a lot of times that ghosts, instances of ghost sightings have come up. I think a lot of times what you're dealing with is demonic activity, and that is something you don't want to chase. That is something you don't want to chase. But that's not across the board in all Christian thinking. But I do personally believe that demons are responsible for ghost stories, not the spirits of the dead. I think the spirits of the dead have a location, either one or the other.
yes.
Okay, so we agree on something. Well, we almost agreed on Loch Ness. I think we're closer on Loch Ness than what we think we are. But okay, let me ask you this on Loch Ness: are you completely closed off to it, or are you willing to be persuaded?
Like I said, some drunk guy went out of the pub and saw a stick in the water.
Drunk guys, yeah, but drunk guys see a lot of, drunk guys
Are not credible.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway, I didn't come prepared for a drunk guy analogy, but
Well, I mean, it's...
are you completely closed off to Loch Ness?
Prove it.
Okay, prove it.
I mean, I want proof.
Proof. We can do that. We may not be able to do it with Loch Ness. And we may not be able to do it personally because I don't have the funds to go to Scotland.
Scotland!
Here's an important question, and it's a topic I've not spoke about on the channel yet, and I want to hear what Mama thinks of it. What are your thoughts on zombies? not do they exist so much, but could they?
I mean, The Walking Dead, technically that was Lazarus. He was dead and then he rose up. But in what you're asking about, no.
Yeah, I don't consider Lazarus a zombie. I consider him just raised from the dead.
But
And
what I'm saying is that's what people would say is you're raised from the dead. But no, don't think zombies are real.
So, here's my thoughts on it, and I think that's fair, and I think it's probably right. And I think my theory would take something extra special to make it a possibility. So
Okay.
I do believe that zombies could, in theory, exist. And I would take even the TV series, The Walking Dead, as an example, but not as the authority. I would take the disease aspect.
Okay.
So you think we just went through a 3-year pandemic that, of course, a lot of it was, but we had a lot of people in our family die. My mother had siblings die, but it was a serious disease for a certain age group and for certain health statuses. But there are diseases out there that can take over your whole body, take away your memory, take away bodily functions, things like that. What if a disease progressed enough that it took away basically your identity, your memory, but kept your bodily functions and made you ravenously hungry? And that hunger just happened to be for human flesh. And kept you basically alive. But not really.
For the person who doesn't believe in sci-fi, you're totally talking sci-fi to me right now.
I'm just saying, there are some crazy viruses out there.
Well, I mean, a virus can be genetically altered to, like you mentioned about coronavirus or other things. Kind of like you can genetically alter the antidote to go against that. So, I mean, what you're saying, though, is like, seems, something like, Mr. Roddenberry would do.
I think a virus could, if it hit the right place.
What's the sweet spot?
I honestly think the sweet spot is
Florida?
No, I think the sweet spot would be America, because America would spread a virus quickly, and it wouldn't have enough time to rally itself against an unknown virus. I think the best spot for survival to hit would be like a small, maybe African country without a lot of people, but they can monitor it and isolate that area off and say, let's study this disease out. Let's not let anybody leave this area.
Quarantine type of stuff.
Quarantine. But I think the worst case scenario is it hits the United States first. I don't think the United States would have enough time to react.
You have too many independent people who would be like, I'm not going to.
And the same with Europe. I think Europe would be a bad case scenario. France, UK, any of those places. Mm-hmm. But at least they would have, there would be a certain amount of time where America could react. And there would be a certain amount of time if America was hit where one of the European countries could react. But very little with all the plane travel, because how fast would that spread through the air? Just like it did with coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my thoughts. I think
Sorry, guys.
I think zombies could exist, and I think it would be a virus situation. I do
but
not think,
not raising of the dead.
not raising of the dead.
Okay.
Which saddens me, because one of my favorite creatures in all of literature is a vampire. And it saddens me that I don't believe that it could exist. But
Sparkly Adam.
no, not Twilight. I'm talking Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes, I know what you mean.
So the last question is, what scares you the most?
When the host leaves you alone to fend for your life with a bat flying at you in your house. That scares me the most.
Okay, so there's a bat story that is highly misinterpreted. There was a bat in the house. I thought it was a bird. I stood up. I stood up to get rid of the bird. When I stood up, I realized it was a bat.
And then left me with his oldest child
No.
in the living room and a bat
He was
going
going to
around
get
our
it.
head. No, he wasn't. He went into the bedroom and shut the door.
So
I
no,
thought
I
you
did
said
not.
he went outside.
I came in the kitchen. I came in the
See?
kitchen to regroup with myself to come up with a plan.
And left me alone.
And the plan I came up is we're going to isolate the bat, and we isolated the bat. I shut off all exit points.
His plan was for his wife to turn into a vampire. Just saying.
I isolated the bat. We went into our son's room. I tried to get out the window, but the window wouldn't open, and I'm a fat guy. And so I had to come back out to fight the bat with a broom while I sent Catherine out
Outside!
with a plan. And my plan was ultimately worked. But anyway, we got the bat out of the house. Long story short, I was in control the entire time. So it's been completely misinterpreted.
I said nothing wrong,
You know what?
sir.
I believe in vampires, and I believe that bat was Dracula, and I think he was testing me. Are there any questions for the host and one of the charter members of the What's Haunting the Hurst group? Do you have any questions for us?
No, sir.
Not even one.
No. Just, you have the burden of proof. That's the bat coming back, y'all. The burden of proof is in your court.
Well, technically it's in yours now also.
How?
You are part of the group. So
That's right.
you are certainly going to be active in these investigations, and we are going to seek your counsel on things, and we want your honest opinion on stuff. Now, we may even take you on investigations, which will be a little bit more difficult. Sorry, our son's acting up during a very serious video. It's hard for both of us to go on an investigation, though. As I've mentioned, we have a cat that's on top of this china hutch, and it's making noises like it's going to jump on us.
It's the bat. It's coming back for us.
We do have a special needs son.
Yes.
And it's hard for both of us to be apart or out. One of us has to be with our son. So usually we'll be doing things solo on either side. But maybe we'll get a babysitter and get you out in the woods at night and see.
I would survive better than you.
I don't know. I don't know, because everything changes in the darkness.
Huh?
And I think we can convert you. But thank you for joining me, Wyatt, and Catherine, and Peyton was here earlier on What's Haunting the Hurst. And we hope that you like and subscribe. We'll get Catherine on some more episodes. She's got to get over this initial stage fright. She's a little bit nervous coming on. Mostly because it's hard to be on camera sitting across from someone that's so handsome. I have the same problem because a lot of times when I'm speaking into the camera, I see myself. and I'm intimidated by my own handsomeness. So
Your visage.
yeah, I mean I am a thing of beauty, but I do appreciate you all watching, and we'll be back with some more interesting vlogs. I've got one in the works in my head, but we've already done one this week. We got a Friday vlog coming.
What is it?
Maybe we've got.
You gonna tell me? I want some insider information. I'm part of the crew now.
I'm not telling. Not yet,
She's a part of the crew.
because I'm
The
kind
crusty
of
crew.
I'm kind of in between a couple. So we'll get it.
Okay.
We'll get
I
it.
thought I was gonna get some insider information now.
No, you're not.
And not find out with you all.
Till
But
tomorrow.
please do. I think my best video, as far as information was filmed, was dropped last night, and that was the Killer Clown, the Killer Clowns of 2016 video. I really
That was
enjoyed
freaky.
doing that video.
That was
That was a very fun time in my life. Was 2016 for multiple reasons, but mostly the Killer Clowns. Oh, apparently I'm supposed to. Oh, here comes Knox. Knox likes to disrupt things. Ryder is also here. Rah. He's right there. Anyway, say bye, Catherine.
bye from What's Haunting the Hursts.
Hey, wait.